Hello and welcome back. Um, Thank you from the bottom of my heart if you are here right now watching this. I hope you enjoy. I hope you find this relaxing, or at least a little bit entertaining. If not, you can let me know. Today we're going to be harvesting the rest of our fields. I am not sure if the previous recordings of the fields are going to make it in. But nonetheless, we've still got quite a ways to go here. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the harvesting, not the whole thing because it'd take hours and hours and hours. And I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch that. So we're going to hop right in it. This is what we have going on. So I leased this case IH Magnum 380 with this trailer here. We already had the truck and the dump trailer hauling the grain off back to the farmyard there. So we're gonna continue on with this beautiful fall day. And we're gonna see how far we can get. I'm currently recording this before I have to go to work. So I do have a limited amount of time. We're gonna kind of piece part this thing together because it is quite a bit. There's about 80 plus acres that we need to farm, and we've got our work cut out for us. So we're gonna go in here and just start it off. So I'm probably gonna fill up the harvester before I go and take the truck to the farm. I wish there was like a little pass through because our driveway's literally over here to our right, behind this tree line, but it's alright. We'll make the trek around. I do also need to get fuel in this thing. I need to check, because I believe that the pickup truck that we got has a auxiliary tank in it. So let me go through here. Where is our truck? There it is. What are you doing over here? I do. I don't. I don't have an auxiliary tank in here, so we're gonna have to go get one. I know that there are a couple different containers we can use to fill up fuel. We might have to take that home because I don't know that there's a fuel tank anywhere out on the map. So let's go in here real quick. What are we looking for? Trailers. Excuse me. Grape trailers. I don't think it's under barrels. No. Under miscellaneous? Nope. That is a very interesting mower. Is it just under regular trailers? Mind you, I've played this game many a time before, so there's no reason why I shouldn't know where in the world this is. Changing systems, not under semi-trailers. Under animals, maybe under miscellaneous. Here we go. Under miscellaneous trailers. Let's see what all's in here. Obviously, we don't need a crane for anything that we're doing on the farm. But these are just too cool. Let's see. Ah, there's a liquid fertilizer tender trailer in here. This is what we needed before. We bought a truck just for that. Let's get a black one, I guess. How much is it? 29,000. Okay. So instead of that, I think what we're gonna do is edit this pickup truck bed capacity right there. And it was free. There we go. Alright, so now what we need to do, I'm pretty sure the only area, the only place that we have to get fuel is at our farm, which is right here. I know for a fact I did not put fuel into this tank just yet. So we're gonna go here, and not that much. We'll get 2,000 liters. And okay, you gotta hold down to keep filling it up. Perfect. And this will at least be able to hopefully get us through this harvest. There shouldn't be anything else that we have to top off. Ooh, I totally pulled out in front of that truck. Then we're gonna go meet the harvester up here. Because I do not want to run out. Oh my goodness. Please flip back over normally. Don't do this. Don't do this. Oh my gosh. And we just totaled our truck. That's so amazing. Just give me a moment here. Oh wow, look at that. You know, just a couple minutes later, had a tow truck come by and turn us right side up, and everything is totally fine, totally normal, like nothing even ever happened. We're gonna offload this diesel. And we're good. Don't ask questions. I don't know the answer to them anyways, so we're just gonna be a little more careful going back so we won't do the same thing. I knew there was a dip right here. Obviously, you can tell. But I did not think we were going to get that kind of air. Alright, we're just going to park this right here. We're going to go back to the harvester. That did not give us very much in the way of fuel, but it's alright. Hopefully it gave us enough to at least finish this field up. If not, we'll be making another trip. Work ourselves back this way. Oh, I was like, what are those icons back there? That is the chicken coop that we own. I don't think we're going to be doing anything with. Alright. I'm kind of regretting the tinted windows on this thing. I think that's windows. Yeah, it definitely has tinted windows. It's just a little much. The reason why it's 7 o'clock, or sorry, technically 5 o'clock, and it's stopped here at 5 o'clock, when I first was doing when I first started harvesting the original field, the first field that we started with, bumped it up to 5 times speed because it was like, oh, I've been playing on real-time speed. That doesn't seem very fair. It's not even really much of a challenge or anything like that. So I bumped it up to 5 times speed. Thought I had paused the game when I took a break to eat dinner and watch some TV and that, and it was not paused. So we burned through the majority of our daylight hours, and I had to stop it. I guess I could have just added another day to the season, but I just didn't feel like doing that. Maybe I'll do that for next harvest or something, but this seemed just a lot easier, and honestly, this time of day, it's really, really pretty. So we're just going to pretend like it's perpetually 5 o'clock for this harvest. I was going to say, why am I missing this? For whatever reason, the GPS system gets really, really funky down here at the end. I'm not 100% sure why it feels the need to do that. It's perfectly fine everywhere else in this field. So just doing that here seems a little odd. I'll try and line this up. There we go. I need to move this stuff here so that we can go around on our next pass. The detail on this header, I don't think this is a modded header, I think this is a in-game header. That's just crazy to me. The level of detail that this game, I started watching on the, I think it was Farming Simulator 2010 maybe, and just to see where the game has come since then is mind-boggling. I mean, when I was first introduced to this game, I found it on accident. I didn't even know. This was when John Deere still wasn't in the game. They had previously come out with their own video game called John Deere Drive Green. They had like 2 or 3 different tractors, 1 harvester. It was a very, very, very basic game, but still for that time was so cool. I didn't have a computer at the time to even be able to play it, but if you go back and look at any of the old gameplay footage from that time period, to think now that we have such... I gotta stop. Man, I really gotta pay attention to when this harvester fills up, because it is quick. But to see kind of where we're at now, I mean, just being able to edit and customize things, the dynamic structure of the fields. I mean, you have these tracks left, and all these rows of corn are where I actually planted them. So when they intersect in funky little spots, which I don't know if you can see, probably won't be until further down here. Yeah, so here, this is this where our clean row stops. I mean, to have this level of detail, I didn't, you know, I'd hope we would, okay, that's not what I wanted. I'd hope we'd get there, obviously. I mean, even I remember the Farming Simulator when it came out, and the bins like this were filled dynamically. It didn't used to be that, you know, okay, so I fill up here, and now it's starting to fill up the front of the trailer. Before, in the beginning games, it would just fill up the whole thing at one level, like a very basic rudimentary, literally any other basic rudimentary game with, you know, any sort of volume physics to it. They would just fill up as like you were raising the floor on it, and have this now where you filled up the front of it. I mean, the back end does not have nearly as much as the front one does. It's so cool. And to have, I think the beginning farming simulators, you didn't actually have, you know, 3D graphics like this on the tires. You just had, you know, a picture of tire tread or something on there. So it's very, very immersive now, and I love that. There's not a ton more they can do without like a serious graphics overhaul to the game. And I know you can ask anybody, they're gonna have their little nitpicky stuff on what's good and what's not good and all that stuff. I will agree, I think we're pretty good as far as like all the different crop types go. The only other one I think I'd like to see in the base game is maybe like alfalfa or something. But other than that, like, we've got this stuff down pat pretty good. Now we're just taking our long driveway. Okay. I think we came in maybe a little bit too hot with it there. We got it. Now, I don't know if it is this map or just this tool in general, but every time I hop in here, I have to resituate this auger, and it is quite annoying. Okay, good. Goodness gracious. I believe what we have in here is also part of the first field that we harvested. So we got about 100,000 liters off of that first field, which is doing pretty good. It was around a 20-acre field. The one that we're doing now is our biggest field. It is 30 acres. So we should get, I mean, 150,000 liters off of it. Okay, that didn't like that. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on. Maybe we just need to invest in a belly dump. Sorry, hopper bottom, not a belly dump. It just give you a little background about me. I did drive truck for a couple of years, both for a company. See, I really don't like the fact that that gets closer. It's not a very accurate. I mean, you can't get it to look the best unloading like that, but that's all right. Anyways, so I did drive truck. Hauled a multitude of different trailers, different commodity types. For a short while, I did hook to a dump trailer. We hauled asphalt millings. So one of the things in this cool on this trailer, you can raise the back axle here. So axle lifts, what are they? Why are they on trailers? On something like this, not a crazy long trailer as far as semi truck trailers go. Decently long though. Obviously, one of the biggest things with semis in general is just your turning radius. So on a trailer like this, when you lift the back axle, that shifts all the weight onto, oh no, what am I trying to do? Not this. That lifts or puts all the weight from the trailer onto this axle. So everything is designed for this thing to be hauling weight. When it's empty, you do not have as much weight on the tires. You have a lot of surface area for tires on these vehicles. 18 wheelers, they have 18 wheels. So it's very nice and very handy when you are loaded, because you can stop decently well. When you're unloaded, these will hop if they start to lock up. So you'll get these bouncing up and down like that. Putting on a weight on this tire, this axle here, gives you a better turning radius, because now you pivot off of this axle instead of pivoting off of the middle point here. So you can turn tighter with this. It also is going to give you a better ride. Since you're unloaded, the pressure in the, well, it's marginally better ride, I'll say that, because this is a spread axle, so these are going to ride better anyways. But you're going to get a better stopping performance out of doing something like this. So that, and the other thing is, saves the back tires from wearing, so you can get a little bit more life out of these back tires here. This right here, I just want to point out, is a little unrealistic. If the ABS indicator lamp comes on and stays on when you apply the brakes to a moving vehicle, the trailer ABS is not working properly. So I know this is just supposed to be a marker light, but there's no ABS light, or they're using the marker light as the ABS light, and that's just silly. So we'll hop up into this bad Chad here. This is similar to the truck that I drove. I was in a couple different trucks, but the one that I owned was a Peterbilt 379, which is what this is modeled after. This has the old style dash. I had the newer style dash, but I did drive one of these. I do like it. It's harder to see your gauges down here at the bottom. They do really have this many gauges, and most of oh my goodness, so sorry. Most of the time, okay, we're gonna have to, thank you. Most of the time they have a lot more gauges. They are necessary. It helps you monitor things. These are fairly, they're advanced trucks in a lot of different ways, but at the same time they're very old school and rudimentary in the way they do things. This is because it's less stuff to break down. When you can monitor these systems, it's better to know when you have a problem, because it's dangerous to have something out there hauling, 60, 70, 80,000 pounds. Everything needs to work. So monitoring those systems, let me drop this axle here. That is important when you are, there we go, loading. So enough rambling about trucks. If you guys want to know more about semi-trucks and kind of what it actually means to run one down the road, cool stories from that, let me know. More than happy to talk about it. I look very fondly back on that time, but also kind of happy to be back out of it, because that means I actually have a life. Hopefully we can capture all this, and this road goes all the way down. That would be nice. We do need to decide what we're going to plant in these other fields here. Not in these other fields, but plant in these fields once we finish up harvesting. So, they've had wheat in them, they've had corn in them. I'm thinking we will probably go to soybeans after this, which I think field 63 does. But we don't have money for another field right now because this is $184,000. I'm sure we would have it if we sold everything, but we don't have any equipment. So, if you look back here, this is harvested, needs plowed. Now, why? I already plowed it. Did I forget that we had to plow every single time? I mean, it gets you the bonus for plowing. Man. I don't know if I want to go back through and plow everything again. But we might have to because we really need to start banking some money. But our cost as far as putting seed in the ground right now is fairly high, just because we do not have our own machines. So we have to lease everything. I might try and skip a round of plowing, but I'm pretty sure I want to put soybeans. That's a fairly common crop to rotate with corn. So trying to get a little bit of diversity in here. Already at 61%. Alright, I need to pay attention to that. I think we still have to come up here and do a headland pass. Yes, we do. So, I'm going to keep on harvesting here, and we'll bring you back in once we're all finished up here. That's turning off. There we go. All right. Yep. I'm gonna keep doing this. We'll bring you back in once we've knocked a lot of this out. It's just gonna be doing this for a couple more hours yet. So we will eventually upgrade the harvester to get all the big equipment that is necessary to run these kinds of fields. Honestly, right now, this kind of harvester doesn't do too bad. Starting out with this many acres, trying to do anything less than this size of harvester would be incredibly tedious, to say the least. And when you gotta spend several days of your real life just going through trying to harvest this stuff, it can kind of take some of the fun out of it, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously in games you want to always be progressing, that's the fun bit of it. So starting out here, I think for the series, first playthrough is going to be good. Then we'll go back through. I would like to do some old school stuff too, and maybe some other challenges, and kind of see what we can come up with. Do something a little bit different. We're gonna do. There is only so much you can do with this game, but at the same time, there is quite a bit, given that there is so many different ways to play this game. So, thank you for watching up until this point. I will bring this back in once we're all finished up. And we've got the corn harvested. All right. Alright, I just wanted to pop back in here and say hi. We're taking, oh gosh, where were we? Taking yet another load of corn back to home base here. And, I don't know, sitting in this truck kind of, it brings back memories. Again, I drove a truck for a number of years, so this, oh golly, this was home for me for 3 or 4 years. Oh, we just passed our driveway again. That's alright, we're just taking a drive out for us, a Sunday stroll. This is, I believe it's okay, we've got a 12-speed. Little unorthodox. Usually they're a 13 speed. Well, I guess you would have about 12 forward gears anyways. 10, 13s, 15s, and 18s are what you're going to find in a semi-truck. A lot of people always want to know, how can something have that many gears? The answer is quite simple. The shifter operates just like a normal shifter in, oh, there we go, smacked into the back. That's an insurance claim. The shifter operates just like a normal shifter in a car or truck that you would drive. So let me get turned around here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I was gonna just try and filter in behind this car, but is there somebody else back there? Yeah, there's somebody else back there. Alright, we're just gonna make his turn. Okay, back at it. So you see the little knob on the side there, the little switch on the side? That is your splitter. And then there would be another range selection on the front of it. Look like a big black flap. So you've got 6 positions. The one closest to the throttle there is always going to be reverse. And then you'll have the lowest gear right behind that. So you're going to start in first with it towards the dash. That little colored knob on the side usually is always, if it's a Eaton transmission, it's going to tell you based off the color what kind of transmission it is. So I believe blues are the 15 speeds. Red is a 13. And then the whites are 18, I want to say. It's been a minute since I've been out the game. But you start out in first and you switch that, then you're in first high. And then you switch it back again, drop down into second, and that's second low. And then flip the switch, you're in the second high, and then third, and then fourth. And then that black switch on the front of the shifter, you would switch that and then go back into the number 1 position, and you are into 5th gear. Now obviously we call it 5th gear, but when you work it out with all the other gears that you have for each one, it's a little bit different. On the 13 speeds, you have only the ability to split gears on the high side, and then 18 speeds you can split any gear, and 15s, I'll be honest, I've never ran a 15. But I want to say you just split the bottom side. I think so. So, if you ever find yourself behind the wheel of a semi-truck, that's how you would do it. Now you can't shift like a normal car. You either have to double clutch, which means clutch in to get the gear shifter out of gear, and then clutch back in to get it back into the next gear. Or you can float, which is where you match the RPMs to your speed, and then since it is an unsynchronized transmission, you are the synchronizer, and you basically just find the RPM, the speed, where the gears, your input and output gears, match up, and then you just kind of float it in, and just lightly glide it into gear, I should say. So it's pretty fun, it's pretty satisfying when you get it right. Also pretty scary when you are first starting out and you've got a lot of weight behind you. There are definitely other things to make it more interesting. Like if you have a load that moves, i.e. livestock or some sort of liquid with an unbaffled tank. So if we get into dairy cows in this game, we'll be hauling some milk, and we can kind of go over what that's like. Another thing that I find very cool about this mod, you can raise and lower the air suspension on the front of the truck. So all of the modern day semi-trucks are going to have air ride suspension, at least on the back here. I'm going to see if you can't see it. So right underneath that license plate, you can kind of see that cylinder looking thing. That is your airbag. You would have one on each. Yeah, you kind of see them just peeking out the back of the duals there. You're going to have one on each of those, and that's what actually gives you the spring or rebound. It kind of acts as everything. The spring and the shock absorber. So it's just one unit. Some of them do have shock absorbers too with them. But this one on the... see if I can... front suspension. There we go. How do we make it go up and down? There you go. This one has air ride on the front. Pretty cool. This is usually, more trucks have been implementing this into an option for speccing out the truck. It does improve the ride quality quite a bit. It really doesn't have... The biggest disadvantage is those airbags could go out just over time, or if something punctures them. Obviously, if it's not holding air anymore, it's not doing what it's supposed to. So there is the maintenance portion of it that is sometimes a concern for some people. But it's got a lot of advantages too. I personally think the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. So, never had a truck that had front air ride suspension, but I always wanted it. So, that is a little, I don't know, some fun facts about semi-trucks and what it's like to drive them down the road. So, we are going to keep harvesting this field here. I'll show you real quick. We're on field 59. So this smaller field, it's only about 13 acres. So I'm gonna get this one knocked out, and then I still have field 55, 22 acres of corn to get off. So we're slowly but surely getting there, but we're going to get the rest of this corn harvested. Obviously, as you can see, I am severely down on money right now. So we're going to try and wait it out another month until corn prices jump back up. Last time I checked them, they were at $393 a 1,000 liters, which is so terribly bad. So terribly bad. Really hope that jumps up this next month or two. So gonna wait as long as we can to sell off any of the corn. We do have the bin system, so we don't have to store it, and I don't really have to do anything with these fields until it comes time to until it comes time to start planting again. So that's what we're doing, and I will bring you back in when we're all finished up here. Alright, we did it. We finally harvested all of the corn. I am headed back here with our little International to go pick up the header off of our harvester, and we're gonna take all this stuff back to the house. Currently we are sitting at negative $761, which is not great. I really don't want to sell anything off right now. I might just let it sit in the negative, at least for them, I don't know, at least for a minute. Just because prices are absolutely terrible on... Okay, that was all on you, dude. That was all on you. Yeah. Need to probably just let it sit for a minute, because I'm not going to get anything for this corn. But we have... I think just over like 500,000 liters of corn. So not too bad. When it comes time to sell it, I am gonna have to do a lot of trips. There's a lot of trips. That's alright. Builds character. So we're gonna drop this header off here. Good enough for who's for. This is our final field. All harvested. So if we go in here, zoom out a little bit. Look at that. It all needs plowed. I don't know that we're going to plow it, but it all needs it. Taking a look down here. Look at that. 480,000 liters, and I've got another 48,000 liters sitting in the truck right now. The selling station I did have to add because there was only one place to sell the corn, and that was at the farmer's market, and I didn't think that that was very fair or realistic at all. So it's not, you know, the prices are in line with what they should be. It's not like something crazy where you're getting twice the value for it or whatever. So I mean, look at every other place has, for the most part, has another area where you can sell. So I don't know. We will I don't know, just take all this back. Everything needs wash. Harvester needs fuel really, really badly. So yeah, we're gonna take all this back. I think, I don't know. I think for now it doesn't make sense. Oh, also I have like, I don't know, 1% left in the gravity wagon, so we're gonna have to get that off too. I could sell a little bit just to get some cash in the account. Where am I going with this? You know what? No, we need to wash it first. Let's do that first. There you go. They're all cleaned up. Everything went pretty nicely. Very happy with this corn header. I'd say for the operation, it did a good enough job. Obviously, you always, excuse me, always like something a little bit bigger. Seems fairly clean. Yeah, I think you'd always like something a little bit bigger, but I think it does the job just all right. So we're gonna run it. Even so, I think we're gonna. Okay. Golly, what the heck is going on here? Why are you tweaking, bro? I wonder if this header doesn't like. Oh, I didn't even wash this one. Alright. Can I back it up? No. No, I'm not backing that up. Okay, try again. Didn't realize the back wheels turn. That kind of puts you at a strong disadvantage. Probably should just be parking this outside. Alright, let's get the harvester back in here. I think I'm alright just leaving it in the negative. It's not really going to hurt us. It's not like we have a loan coming out. It's just maintenance costs. So it's not like anything that serious in my opinion. You're going to need to wash this too. I take the... There we go. And that looks pretty good. Let's hop in the harvester. There we go. Probably gonna end up taking the rest of the sorry. Probably gonna end up taking the rest of the fuel that's in here. Still, goodness gracious, this takes forever. And we're good. Alright. Turn these beacons off. I could just shove it back in here, I guess. Perfect. So we're gonna need to hop in here first. Hop from one field to the next. Oh, also, I figured out that this has, both axles on these trailers are liftable. So, that's pretty cool. I might just keep... I want to see if I can just unload the grain straight from the auger bin into or straight from the chaser wagon into the actual auger itself. Because that way we could just keep this trailer full, because we're gonna need to sell it off. That's something that has to happen. So it doesn't really make sense for me to pour that in. This one's... it's pretty clean. Yeah, we'll just see if we can't line it up. Pour it in. I mean, 1%. Shoot, I might be inclined to just return that with the actual freaking tractor, because again, this unit was leased. This is where the majority of our costs came from during this harvest season. So everything else is paid for, so yep. Goodness gracious. Hey, it worked. All right. Obviously, when we get a cultivator, we're also going to need to do something with this field. I have not decided yet what we're going to do with the field. Maybe just make it... I don't know. I wanted to make it just like a hay field, I think. But... I don't know. We're going to have to cultivate all that up and I don't know, stick something in there. It looks pretty ugly the way it is. There we go. Look at that. Taking up way too much of the road here. Well, I did like this setup. I think, unfortunately, this is too small of a tractor for the wagon that we had, because we just got pushed all over this stinking place. So next time, I'm probably going to have to get something bigger, or a smaller chaser wagon. I don't know which one. So, there you have it. Harvest. I'm gonna count this as kind of the first harvest, because this is what we planted. First harvest done. Pretty happy with it, honestly. We got quite a bit of corn. Should get somewhere in the range of like 300,000, maybe even 400,000. That's awesome. I don't know that you could ask for a better first harvest. I'm kind of realizing now that we may have started out a little bit too big from the get-go. Again, we have no real field working tractor. The International that we do have is only 120 some horsepower, and if we stuck an implement on the back of that, I would be working weeks in real life time just to try and get all this plowed and then seeded, and it wouldn't do it. It just straight up wouldn't do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Even if you haven't been paying attention, that's cool too. At least you kept the video on, I guess. So yeah, thanks so much. In the next episode, we are going to be... I'll probably sell off the grain off camera here. And then we're going to be focusing on getting these fields ready for seeding. And I think we're gonna need to do a couple rounds of that, get the proper equipment that we need to really work these fields. Then we can start focusing on getting into the livestock business, doing dairy cows and things like that. So thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.